diabetes, high blood pressure, strokes, menopause, AIDS, pregnancy, sex.
Sex? Did you say sex?
As prescribed, take your medication, exercise, and diet. On 88.5 Sufra FM, tell a friend, call your neighbor. Casualty 911 is on.
So good morning, everybody. I know we're running late this morning, but sorry about that. I guess it was elections fever. I'm just kidding. I just walked up the road, and you have to be greeting so many people this morning. I guess everybody's out and about. And it is a wonderful morning. Persons are out there. We just want to say to persons, health is a holistic approach, no casualty, no injury. We are one community, one people, and we'll continue being one community, one people, even after the election. So this is just a gentle reminder to persons, do not engage in a lot of alcohol drinking, been drinking on a day like today, because persons tend to forget themselves. Don't forget those persons with underlying health conditions. Be mindful not to get too excited. Don't hype up too much. Your health is of utmost importance on a day like today. Let us stay calm, cool. Let us enjoy ourselves in the most peaceful way. And this is what we're asking persons. So I have one very good announcement. Christmas is coming soon. All the pigs are getting fat, and it's butcher's season. And we are asking all the butchers, there is a butchers meeting and training sessions. So environmental health will be hosting a number of meetings for the butchers at different locations on December 9th. December 9th. And it starts at 9 a.m. And for Sufra, it is at the Access Center training room for butchers from Choiseul to Connery's. So at the Access Center, we're inviting all the butchers from Choiseul to Connery's, that means Choiseul, Sufra, and Connery's, to come in to the Access Center December 9th at 9 a.m. Now for those from Viewfort, that is from Viewfort, Dennery to Saltibus, they're asking you to come to the Environmental Health Division conference room that is in Viewfort. So butchers from Dennery to Saltibus, you are asked to come to the Environmental Health Division conference room on the 9th of December at 9 a.m. And for those persons up north, they're asking you to come to the Orchard Garden in Union, and that's for butchers in the north. Yeah. So environmental health is already taking a head start for all our butchers to ensure that meats are sold in a wholesome manner to prevent any foodborne illnesses. Yeah. So butchers, you're asked to come out so that you know the requirements and to ensure that on the day, the health inspectors have no issues, no problems, because you will be well informed what the procedures are. So don't forget, December 9th, Butchers Island-wide. And each community have their meeting at different locations, and it starts at 9 a.m. So for those Soufrière, Canneries, and Choiseul, you can always contact the Environmental Health Division in Soufrière, and they will guide you accordingly. So having said that, today it's recognized as World AIDS Day, and many people tend to forget AIDS and HIV. Some persons say, ni AIDS toujours? Yes, there is. And it's there. The numbers are growing rampant, and we're encouraging persons to come in and to do your tests. So this morning, we're going to speak a little bit about HIV and AIDS and what can we do to prevent such. I know our lifestyles have a lot of a part to play, but our theme is let's stop HIV together and give HIV the finger. That is the little finger prick test. Yeah. And that test is being done at Soufrière Hospital. The HIV rapid test is being done at Soufrière Hospital. And this morning I ensured that I went to the lab and to ask. So when you see your doctor and you ask for the HIV test, it is free of charge. And they're going to do the rapid test. So you don't forget, your name will not be on the form. You are guided by a code. So nobody's name is going to be on the form. You are guided by a code. They will ask you certain questions, and then a code will be formulated for you, and that will be your code. And then you can do the HIV test free of charge at Soufrière Hospital. Now, in speaking to the lab technician, they said if they find any positive, false positive, and so on, they send it for further testing at St. Jude's Hospital. So we're asking persons, especially our male, our female, our women are, down and out, to come in and do the test. It's free of charge. Yes? Or you can come to our STI clinics. You can speak to the nurses, find out when we have our STI clinics, and you can come in. We're supposed to have an STI clinic in Soufrière. I'm not sure how active that is, but we have our men's health clinic. So men, when you come to our men's health clinic, you can ask for the free HIV test. That is the rapid test. So the overall theme for World AIDS Day is overcoming disruption, transforming the AIDS response. And that's one of the things we want to do. And we're hoping that so many people are HIV positive. Those who know, those who do not know, and that is where we want it to stop. Because knowing is beautiful. So when you know, you can be on your meds, you can live longer, then you'll not have all these HIV and AIDS complications, health complications, and you can live a normal life. And that is what we're asking persons to do. And we're asking persons, the stigma and so on. I mean, all of us, we never know what we will get, what we don't get. If you know somebody's HIV positive, be mindful what you say, what you don't say, how you say it, and so on. And these are the things we want people to be mindful of, the stigma that is attached to HIV and AIDS. So whilst everybody feels that, I'm not hearing anything about AIDS and HIV, it is still there within our communities. Persons still carry the virus. Persons look alive, well, and kicking, and they look healthier than some of us, but they are still carrying the virus. And this is what we have to be mindful of. Yeah? So therefore, you have to take the precautionary measures in getting tested, which is being done free of charge at our at Soufrière Hospital, and so on. So most times, The HIV rapid test is done free, even at outreach. They have the rapid test and it is done free of charge, where you receive some counseling first. You receive the counseling and thereafter, then you do the test. Trust me, I've done it on many occasions. You know, at first you'll be a little bit, oh my God, especially if you know you did some madness. But then, you know, when you do the test and you sit down with the nurse, she calms you down, she speaks to you, the counseling phase really calms you down. And then you take the little prick, you wait for the 15 minutes, and thereafter you receive your results. Trust me, when I speak about something, I don't just come and speak about it and don't experience it myself. I did experience it. I remember my first time, you know, I'm saying, oh my God, nurse, oh my God, you think I should be doing this? She was doing the rapid HIV and syphilis test. And, you know, I went ahead, I did it. And when I got the results, I was so happy, you know, you were so happy and so on. But before that, you're kind of nervous. That is where the counseling comes into play to calm you down, to educate you. You understand? And after the results, the nurse, you know, continue having a conversation with you, because it's not the end of the world. That's not the end of your life. She will continue guiding you after your results, whether it shows negative or positive or any other, she will still speak to you. Because some persons, because they are negative, they, you know, now they'll start doing some crazy things. But then no, she will still counsel you, which was, I mean, which was the ideal thing. After I received the results, she still took some time and speak to me. Yeah. So, you know, with everything else, I just want to say, you know, talk about a little, you know, signs and symptoms of HIV. And a lot of people tend to, I mean, sometimes signs and symptoms of one illness, I mean, some other illness, it has the same signs and symptoms. But there is one thing sometimes that differentiates. Yeah. So you know. So, one of the signs and symptoms. So, before I go on, I spoke about AIDS and I didn't really say what AIDS was. AIDS means acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. And as time goes by, you know, it really affects your immune system. And again, it's a chronic condition, and many times, you know, many people get treated for years before it actually shows signs. And that is what is the most important thing. So here it says, AIDS is called acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. That's AIDS. It's an ongoing and also called chronic. It's also called a chronic condition. It's caused by the human immunodeficiency virus, also called HIV. And what HIV does, it damages the immune system so that the body is less able to fight infection and disease. Okay? So HIV, if HIV isn't treated, it can take years before it weakens and the immune system enough to become AIDS. All right? So one of the ways HIV is transmitted is through contact with the genitals, such as during sex without a condom. And that's one of the things we've been advocating. Use a condom. And people tend not to use it. Me? it doesn't feel the same. We all know the lifestyle practices. We all know it's very difficult for partners to remain faithful. So imagine you married, or imagine you have a boyfriend or girlfriend. You are cheating with somebody else. The male figure in the relationship is cheating with another woman, and you as a woman is cheating with another male. These same persons may have more than one partners. So you could see the effect of persons sleeping with each other. And that is what we're trying to tell persons. You have to remain faithful to your partner. And if you go out there, you have to take the necessary precautionary measures. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize. A lot of husbands and wives brings home STIs to their partners, HIV, when one person remains faithful and the other partner is not faithful. Trust me. And a lot of people are now in open relationships. That means they're free to see who they want, when they want, how they want. So you understand how much we're putting ourselves out there at risk to contract, to get HIV. And this is one of the issues that we're having. So through sex, when you don't use a condom, I mean, even if you use a condom, you still have to take precautionary measures also. And that is why it is a sexually transmitted infection. So HIV is also spread through the contact with blood when such people share needles or syringes, especially persons that are on drugs and so on. They tend to share needles. And that is why we're asking persons do not share needles at no point in time. So if the person has untreated HIV, it can be passed on to the next person through the needle and through blood. And the virus is also spread during pregnancy. It's also spread during pregnancy, childbirth, and breastfeeding. Yeah. So once you're positive with HIV, you're not supposed to breastfeed the child. And that is one of the things you have to be so very mindful of. And as soon as you're pregnant, necessary precautionary measures will be taken so that the child, can be born safe and sound. There is no cure for HIV or AIDS, but medicine can control the infection and keep the disease from getting worse. And antiviral treatments for HIV has reduced AIDS death around the world. There is an ongoing effort to make ways to prevent and treat HIV and AIDS. And right now, I think the medication for HIV and AIDS is free of charge at our pharmacy. Yeah, for all STIs. So persons can come in and get their medications. Yeah. So what are the symptoms? The symptoms are fever, headache, muscle aches, and joint pains. So you realize a lot of the symptoms we have, not necessarily linked to HIV and AIDS, but it can be another health condition. So you wouldn't know you actually positive with HIV because some of it's like the symptoms are, it can be linked to another medical condition. Sore throat and painful mouth sores, swollen lymph node glands, also called nodes, mainly on the neck. And these glands that you have there, diarrhea, weight loss, cough, night sweats. So when you hear these symptoms, you say that doesn't sound like symptoms of HIV and AIDS, or it could be something else. Yeah. So that is why persons have to be very, very careful. Now, I'm saying all of this is because, when you have HIV, it can progress to AIDS. And that's the latter stage. So we're asking persons to be mindful of all of these because it takes a lot. It takes a lot out of somebody to say, okay, let me do an HIV test. And we're encouraging couples to come in and do the HIV test, or even before you indulge in any sexual behavior. Any sexual behavior. Come in and do the test as couples. And it makes you feel more at ease. So it makes you sit down, discuss your private lives, your sex lives, and then they will guide you. When you come in and do the test, when last you had sex with a partner, and so on, they'll give you the window period and all of these things to be taken into consideration. So therefore, you are well guided through our system. And these are the services that are available free of charge, and persons don't take advantage of these services. I've been speaking about a lot of free services, and people tend not to be mindful, but it is there and it is available within our health sector. So the HIV test, free of charge. Come in, speak to your doctor, let them write up the form, come to the lab and do the HIV test. Like I said, if you're into a new relationship and so on, you and your partner can come in and do the HIV test, the rapid test, and then you can take it from there. Or you can do all the tests for the STIs and so on before you decide to sleep with each other. These are things that you can do. These are things you can talk about. And these are things you can take from one level to the other. That is why our lifestyle plays a role in these, in getting these, contracting these infections. So I do not want to dwell too much on HIV and AIDS, because one of the things I want persons to start thinking about these conditions and to know that it is there, it is still there within our community and island-wide. We just have to be mindful. Yeah. So having said that, I just want to repeat to persons that if you have any concerns, now that you have heard me talking about HIV and AIDS, feel free to come in and speak to our, how should I say it, our nurses, our doctors, and take it from there. And not only HIV or AIDS, any other STIs you might feel that you might have contracted, and you can come in. One of the things I encourage parents to do, it's now the time to speak to our young adults about STIs. Sit down and speak to them about the practices, the lifestyle, so that they know what to expect when they go out there. Like, for example, how to put on a condom and so on. And these are the things that you need to teach both boys and girls, and why you need to take the precautionary measures. Because our younger generation tend to be a bit more carefree, although our older generation, my goodness. But we have to start from now. Speak to our young adults, teach them what to expect, and there is nothing to be ashamed of. develop that relationship with your children and have a good chat with them when it comes to STIs, because our children tend to live a very carefree life, and these are the things we need to teach them very, very early. Having said that, it does not only go for our children, but adults also. The children tend to mimic what you do. Sometimes we have to be mindful as adults the lifestyle that we live, so that our children don't follow our own footsteps. We say this because our children, sometimes we expose our children to that kind of lifestyle, and we don't realize what we're doing, the harm that we're causing to our very own, and so on. So I am saying that not only for our children, but for adults. You too need to take the precautionary measures. You need to be mindful of your own actions also, and so on. So having said that, I know it's election time and it's election fever, and I'm not going to stay till 11 o'clock because out there it's really, really interesting. It's really nice to see community members. And a little discussion with community members goes a long way, especially today, because you're seeing people. I realize person that I don't normally see in the community is out there today. So I really want to take on that opportunity to speak to them, especially on HIV AIDS and so on. So hopefully, next week, Monday, we will be having somebody from environmental health to come in to speak about food safety and to, speak about meat inspection also, to guide our butchers and so on. And especially mass events around the Christmas season, there are quite a bit of large activities. We want persons to be mindful of all of that. Yeah. So again, thank you so very much, Romanas, for having me here. Somebody said plumpkin time. Plumpkin. I don't know who's that. But amidst all the elections and everything else, we still have to be mindful that our health is of utmost importance, and we need to continue being mindful. And that is why I am here today. Yeah. So thank you again, Cabrina. And so Super FM for allowing me to come in today to speak about HIV very briefly, very, very briefly, but just to create awareness to our community and to inform persons of the services that are available as it relates to HIV and AIDS. So again, thank you, Super FM. I know tonight, my goodness, everybody will be glued to the radio as well as television. So be mindful, persons. Like I said, let us make sure that everything is violence-free, accident-free, and ensure that persons control their consumption of alcohol on a day like today and tomorrow and tonight. Let us take it one day at a time. Yeah. Again, thank you, Romanas, and do have a wonderful day and a wonderful week.